Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aline McNall, and I'll be doing IEEE-USA's Washington Update, the biweekly update of what's happening in DC for our members. Feel free to ask questions in the chat as you are watching, or send me an email at the end of the presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Next slide. So one thing that came up this week was the National Telecommunications and Information Administration is developing a national strategy to balance the needs of various users of the electromagnetic spectrum. So this has been an ongoing project, and they're starting to hold listening sessions. The federal research agencies have been at odds with the way the FCC does allocate spectrum, and so these discussions have been ongoing in terms of what the STEM community needs and then what are the other needs of the spectrum. For those of you who are NSF affiliated, April 24th to 28th, the NSF will be hosting Spectrum Week, so there'll be lots of spectrum-related activities at that agency. Next slide. In artificial intelligence news, PCAST, which is the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, met with the President Biden, to discuss opportunities and risks of AI. This meeting was a follow-up to the release of the AI Bill of Rights, which happened last year. AI has been a priority for many research agencies in this administration and is certainly a focus of IEEE, so we look forward to hearing more about PCAST's efforts in this area. Next slide. In space policy, the White House issued a National Preparedness Strategy and Action Plan for the near-Earth object hazards and planetary defense. Some of the goals include enhancing near-Earth object detection, tracking, characterization capabilities, improving near-Earth object modeling, predictions, and information integration, developing technologies for near-Earth object reconnaissance, deflection, and disruption missions, increasing the interaction and cooperation on near-Earth object preparedness, as well as strengthening and routinely exercising near-Earth object impacts and emergency procedures, as well as action procedures. This plan aims at improving U.S. management of planetary defense through enhanced interagency collaborations. Next slide. Other space policy news includes the White House issued a low Earth orbit research and development strategy. Some of these policy objectives include advanced groundbreaking science and technology development, strengthening U.S. government collaborations and partnerships, promoting market opportunities, innovation, and sustainability, expanding international cooperation, and stimulating the STEM education and workforce development programs. Next slide. Some quick news about energy policy. The House passed a Republican energy package. Some of the issues include energy permitting and infrastructure. So this is a Republican bill, so it does not really have legs in the Senate, and certainly Biden would not sign it into law, but this is kind of a marker bill in terms of some of the issues the House Republicans wanted to bring forward in terms of energy policy. The IPCC did recently publish a report on climate change, and so looking at kind of that compared to this bill, the bill would actually repeal several climate programs, including the $4.5 billion home electrification rebate program, which was previously signed into law. And the bill would also accelerate permitting and mandate more oil and gas lease sales while supporting the export of liquefied natural gas. So there are some things that are in line with IPCC, but in general, this bill tends to be seen as kind of a marker for the Republican Party. And so we look forward to following the energy negotiations as the Senate moves to look at energy issues. Next slide. So the defense budget does remain a priority for IEEE in terms of our Hill outreach. We did have our Congressional Visit Days, so for those of you tuning in, thank you so much for your participation. We hope your Hill visits were eventful and very interesting to you all, and that you build those relationships with Congress. As many of you who did participate know, the 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3 defense budgets were a priority in our ask for the Congressional Visit Day, because those budgets are in need of some help in terms of this budget cycle. Congress does usually put back the money that the president decides to allocate to other programs. And so we hope that Congress will continue to do that this year. So the FY 2024 RDT&E is at 145 billion. So I've discussed the defense budget in previous legislative updates, so I won't go through all of it again. But just as a reminder, that 145 billion does allocate more money towards the applied programs, and we are still hopeful that 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3 will receive robust funding as well. Some of the research priorities in the RDT&E budget do align with the National Defense Strategy as well as the National Security Strategy, both of which IEEE are certainly familiar with. But we do hope that kind of the really early stage research does get funded at an appropriate level. So ends our legislative update. I hope you all have recovered from the congressional visit days, and I look forward to any questions you might have in the chat about this week. While we're waiting for questions, I will say that the next legislative update is April 27th, 2023, and I look forward to hearing your comments then as well. Seeing no comments, like I said, feel free to email if you do have any questions for those of you who are not watching the live stream. Certainly happy to answer any questions you have. But I hope to see you all on April 27th for the next Washington update. Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon.